Hey guys, what's up? Crotzer here, and welcome back to 5 Minute Reviews. It has been a while since I've done one of these since Falcon and Winter Soldier, but now we are back, and today we're going to be doing the new Disney Plus original, Loki. I've been waiting for this show for a while, so let's just jump into it. Okay, start the timer. So the story goes with Loki going to the desert after he jumped into the portal after the events of Endgame. When he went to the desert, he ended up being ambushed by these time cops that took him to this time prison, well, whatever it was. This time force was meant to keep the fabric of time from escaping one single timeline. Apparently, before that, there was some multiverse war and all bad stuff happening, blah blah blah. It was kind of boring, in my opinion. Apparently, because Loki took the Tesseract, he is now under time trial, and I gotta admit, it was pretty funny. They had to get him into a changing room for him to have prison clothes. They had to make him sign a contract to say that he had said every single word that he said like a script, and it was just an all-out hilarious scene. Loki is sent to a courtroom where he is standing trial for his crime against time. Loki tries to defend himself by saying that the Avengers were the ones who disrupted time by going back in time to stop him. However, the judge then said that it was all supposed to happen and that Loki taking the Tesseract caused the time problems. Loki was found guilty and was about to be restarted, whatever that meant, but before he could, Owen Wilson shows up out of nowhere and decides to take Loki in for a little investigation. Wilson interrogates Loki and tries to get into the mind of Loki, seeing what makes him tick, in his words. He starts playing a tape of Loki's whole entire life and questions why he did the things he did. During that entire interview, Loki ended up seeing not just his past and his present, but the future. And it was just everything that happened in the original MCU timeline. The death of his mother, the death of his father, Thor and Loki fighting side by side in the events of Ragnarok. Then it got to the part where Loki saw Thanos strangling him in Avengers Infinity War, and he was just like destroyed. It was the scariest thing in the world, and I wouldn't be surprised if I saw my own death. I'll be freaking out. After the tape ends, Loki has a terrible realization that his life had no other meaning. Like, there was no after his death. The worst part is, it was a bit of a reference. If you guys remember Avengers, the very first Avengers, Tony said to Loki that there is no scenario where you come up on top. When that entire photo shoot was happening, I believed that. That was the moment I'm like, oh frick, Tony was right. After Loki saw the tape, he decided to tell Owen Wilson why he did the things he did. And apparently he was creating an illusion of power and fear. Apparently Loki didn't like hurting people. In fact, he didn't find it fun at all, according to him. He just said he just did it because he felt weak and he decided to show fear and dread in order to be powerful. After hearing that, Owen Wilson decides to let Loki help him out on something. Apparently, Owen Wilson was working on a case of some time-traveling maniac wreaking havoc across the space-time continuum, and the reason why he decided to ask Loki for help is because apparently this time-traveling maniac is Loki, at least from another timeline. And that's basically the full episode. Okay, some final thoughts. I gotta say, this episode alone is by far amazing. From the very beginning of the episode, I was hooked to every single event that took place. It was suspenseful, it was mischievous, and it was downright hilarious. I feel like the show is going to be one of those shows that makes you feel like you have an idea what's going to be going on, but then it decides to do a next plot point, which I find amazing and find really cool and original. From the first episode, I already had some of my own theories, but like I said, from what the series is showing me so far, I could be completely wrong. I would also like to add that we are now getting closer and closer to the existence of the Marvel multiverse. I was waiting for a multiverse reference in any of the Disney Plus series so far in this new phase that Marvel's going through, and so far, Loki is the closest one we gotten to it. As for the actors, Tom Hiddleston, downright awesome. He did an amazing job, and I am so glad that we have gotten him back in the MCU, and I'm so glad he's gotten his own spin-off series. And as for Owen Wilson, this guy's just an awesome actor in general. I freaking love Owen Wilson. He's one of my favorites, and I am so happy that he's in the MCU. In conclusion, this show, with this first episode so far, has the potential to be, in my opinion, one of the best MCU series out of all of them. Alright guys, that's all the time I have for you today. If you did enjoy my content, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And be sure to let me know in the comments below what your thoughts about the episode is. Well, I wish you all a good day, and a happy weekend. I'm Crotzer, and thank you for joining me on 5 Minute Reviews.